Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the Fatimiyyah Series. Today we are joined by Brother Hassan Naqvi, who is going to help address today's topic, which is a continuation of the discussion in the first session. It's a common objection against the Shias that the attack on the house of Hazrat Zahra isn't even present amongst Shia books, except for Kitab Sulaim bin Qais. For now, I want to set aside the discussion of Kitab Sulaim bin Qais and hope that, Brother Hassan, you can shed some light on other notable Shia sources where this incident is documented.
Wa alaikum salam, brother, and thank you for having me in this discussion. So before I start talking about all the numerous Shia sources that discuss this tragedy, I just wanted to share something that truly it pains my heart. I mean, it makes sense if we hear such objections from non-Shias, but it just sinks my heart when I find that so many Shias have also started considering this unspeakable tragedy to be inauthentic, quote unquote. And this is all to maintain good relations with those who are simply ignorant of the reality, and in order to not hurt their feelings. But at the same time, I asked them, what about the feelings of the daughter of our Prophet? Have they forgotten that? After we die, we all have to face Rasulullah, and we all have to answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you deny the oppression that was done on Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha, the same Fatimah Zahra, without whose intercession and recommendation none of us are even worthy of entering paradise. So we need to be careful about how we deal with her rights, because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, he said that Fatima's anger is in reality Allah's anger. And this is just something to keep in mind right here. So now, if you want to prove the authenticity of this attack from reliable Shia sources apart from Kitab Sulaim, I'm going to mention a few examples of some of our scholars who have either clearly alluded to this incident or they've reported it in detail in their books. Firstly, Shaykh As-Saduq alayhi rahmah. He's mentioned this attack on the house of Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha twice in his book, A'mal As-Saduq. Both of these traditions are from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, and in which he foresees the oppression that will befall his family after his untimely death. In the first narration, the Holy Prophet, he discusses the virtues of his daughter and her position near Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then he goes on to list the oppressions that she will be subjected to, including the attack on her house. In the second tradition that's also in the book, A'mal As-Saduq, it is similar to the first tradition we mentioned. And the second book is Dalail al-Imama by Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabari. And in this book, al-Tabari has mentioned this incident on 3 separate occasions. So, I want to bring your attention to one of these traditions. And we have to keep in mind that the narrators of this chain, of this specific tradition, they have been ruled trustworthy and reliable by the likes of Sayyid Abu al-Qasim al-Khuyi and Shaykh Atusi alayhi rahmah and al-Najashi, along with others. So the chain of narrators is seen as reliable. And after reading this tradition from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, it becomes explicitly clear that Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha, she died due to the wounds she suffered in the attack. And there's no room for doubt, as the narration makes it clear that she was upset with the companions, while she knew that her anger is the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger. And third, we have Shaykh al-Mufid. He explicitly records in Al-Ikhtisas while discussing the oppression. And in the quotes in his book, Al-Ikhtisas, he mentions, and then he slapped her such that her earrings broke. So imagine the force that he must have used to break her earring in this attack. And if that's not it, in his book, Al-Ihtijaj, Shaykh al-Tabrasi, he documents the stand of Imam Hassan alayhi salam when he said to one of the oppressors, "You are the one who struck Fatima, the daughter of Rasulullah, and the child in her womb was martyred." And it's also mentioned in Al-Kafi by Shaykh Muhammad ibn Yaqub al-Kulayni alayhi rahmah, while he alludes to it while reporting the secret burial of Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha. And it's also mentioned in Al-Kafi when Shaykh Muhammad ibn Yaqub al-Kulayni alayhi rahmah, when he alludes to it while reporting the secret burial of Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha. And it's discussed in our famous du'as and ziyarat. For example, the dua by Imam Ali alayhi salam in dua Sanam al-Quraysh, he talks about the oppression he faced, including the broken ribs of his beloved wife. And in the ziyarat of Hazrat Zahra salamullah alayha, it's reported by Sayyid ibn Tawus alayhi rahmah, and he also makes a reference to the attack on her house. Also, it's mentioned in Kamil al-Ziyarat that after returning from Mi'raj, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he had informed Hazrat Zahra sallallahu alaiha of the oppression that would befall her, including the attack on her house and the murder of her unborn child. And finally, Allama Majlisi alayhi rahmah, he has referred to this incident on 5 occasions in Biharul Anwar. And based on all of these traditions, it is a proven fact that Hazrat Zahra sallallahu alaiha was indeed oppressed and her house was indeed attacked. And this is an undeniable reality. Now we must decide for ourselves, with whom do we wish to be raised on the Day of Judgment, with Hazrat Zahra sallallahu alaiha, or with those who were the cause of her anger and consequently were the cause of Allah's anger.